Steel boots stomping, crashing the floor. Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two dumb Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the show. This is episode 836 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. I want to say to everybody this morning, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. Great to see everybody on this Thursday morning, getting ready to head into week 8 of the NFL, guys. The Thursday night football game tonight between the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Chargers kicks off the week. And of course, the Steelers get their time on Sunday night at 8:20. Here in Pittsburgh, whenever the Packers come to town. And I got a little bit of information on this, Mike. Well, apparently now the Packers are wearing their all-white uniforms.
Yeah.
So initially, I could remember at some point when we announced that we were doing the uniform, the old uniform, there was a promotion that had a picture of a Packer, and he had the old uniform on.
Yeah.
When they're going to wear. Well, apparently they opted out of that, and it was going to be just their regular white uniforms with yellow helmets. But now, between yesterday and today, I found out that they are wearing their alternate uniforms. It's basically the same thing as the Cincinnati Bengals, who we just faced last week with their all-white uniforms. So I don't know if there was any any superstition or strategic accountability or anything like that going into this. But I do know that we're going to face a team that looks a lot like the team that we just faced. As far as the visual, Mike, I don't know as far as the team goes, but visually, I'd certainly say.
Yeah, visually the same. It's like, oh my God, we're going to be having flashbacks. But I think Green Bay did it too, so there'd be no confusion with the yellow helmets. And I don't know if they did it or the league did it or both teams like talked to each other like, hey, this kind of like going to be kind of difficult if you're looking for a helmet flashing through and they're both the same color, or the league going, hey, visually this is not going to look good. One of you Packers, you got to do something different. So
do you know why that's why that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard? Not you saying it, but just I read it as well. You know why that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard? Because in any given week you could see two teams playing with white helmets. Any given week you could see two teams playing with silver helmets. Any 2 weeks. I just
black
thought
helmets.
when we play the Ravens, why don't we wear a different color helmet so we don't So again, I thought that was real stupid. Again, I think it is more than that. I think I think it, people try to psych people out. There's no secret about that. Whether this is the case or not, this is the narrative I'm going to roll with because it's what I do. So I do want to say good morning to everybody on the board. It's great seeing everybody today. Again, guys, this is Thursday, the 23rd of October. We're all still alive. The Atlas. AI Atlas A13, whatever the fuck this thing is, Mike, it's still heading toward us. Nobody knows what it is, but you know what? We're still alive. So as long as we're still alive, we're going to still be here doing what it is that we do. Let me say hello to the board. Hello, board. Jackson, Tortilla Jackson, my man, he says this. He says, y'all see the Portland Trailblazer head coach got arrested for underground gambling scheme. I did. Chauncey Billups and as you're saying later down in the comments, former players as well. I mean, it was coming. And I certainly don't think that this is the end of it. And I don't think that this is everybody that's been involved in any kind of gambling that they shouldn't be. I always said, like, as soon as pro sports jumped in bed with the gambling sites and names and entities, I thought that this was going to be a problem at some point. Again, whether it becomes a big problem or not, I don't know. But nonetheless, here we are. And Chauncey Billups and a bunch of players going down for some kind of illegal underground gambling. Mike.
Yeah, Billups, is it Rozier from the Terry Rozier from the Miami Heat, former Cleveland Cavalier player. Damon Jones. Yeah, so this is only like the tip of the iceberg. Yeah. It's only the tip of the iceberg before you're gonna see this going through every sport. What do you like? All these guys gamble all the time. They're on the flights. They're playing poker. They're gambling. They're playing golf. Like, Jordan wants to play $10,000 a hole or some shit. Yeah, these guys, anything to get a little action, they're doing. And I'm surprised it took this long for this shit to happen.
A couple more things before we do get rolling here. I'm officially eliminating Derpy from the picks this week.
Yes,
I'm making the call right now. It's official.
Yes.
I had Derpy. He was, he's on the phone, on the board with us this morning on our board.
Blowing it up, man. Blowing it up.
What time are we going to do the picks? Is the picks today? Am I going to do the picks? Are you going to send the picks? So 3 minutes before I go on to do the show, Derpy's like, I'm just going to send you the picks today. He didn't really give an explanation. He just says, well, here's the thing. He asked about the picks, and then Finch replied and said that he was at work. He'll be on tomorrow. And this was after Derpy asked about the picks.
Yeah.
So he didn't have his bodyguard, basically, is what I'm figuring it out, because Finch kind of puts a padding. He puts something between us and
he's a good buffer.
He's a good buffer, if you will. And I think as soon as that happens, so I'm officially right now, Derpy is eliminated. Because, all right, listen, Finch is busy. He's at work.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's excused. Derpy's been with us for 3 years. He knows how it goes. He knows the routine. The fact that he's even on the board asking us if it's pick day it's kind of bullshit. He's making me look bad. He's making us look bad. So I'm officially taking away his picks this week, Mike. He is eliminated. His picks don't count for anything. I have to treat him like this.
We have to. It's accountability.
It is accountability. If I didn't treat him like this, who am I to talk about Mike Tomlin? So I do have to treat Derpy like this. I did have to go this route. I don't feel good about it. I think it was a very avoidable situation. But Derpy's picks are eliminated. We'll see if he's back next week for picks. So there you go, guys. With that being said, we talked about new uniforms. We talked about the Packers coming in with their all whites. I think trying to psych us out a little bit after the all white out in Cincinnati last week. But Mike, I do know this. It does look nice. It looks nice. It looks nice because I did see the yellow helmets on the players as they were wearing them yesterday at practice. The Steelers did have their yellow helmets on. They look great. I can't wait to see them again, like these, the Bumblebee uniforms, the throwbacks, the alternates. I like all these. Some people don't like them, but you know what? Ugly or not, you only wear them every so often. So I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
And I dig. So we'll see.
I like them too. I like them a whole hell of a lot more after a win. When we lose with the alternate jerseys on, I'm like, why the fuck did we wear these hideous things? But when they win, they're so pretty.
So pretty. A line from White Man Can't Jump, if you recall. I talked about that a little bit yesterday.
Yes.
All right, let me get back on the board here. Good morning to everybody. Vegas, I would have to agree. if it wasn't on this show or not, if I heard this song, I would be singing along as I do, and throughout the day. It kind of drives me crazy sometimes, but nonetheless, we appreciate the compliment. Tortilla says, and I do want to say good morning, my friend. Great to see Vegas. Great to see Tortilla. Excuse me. Tortilla says some players got arrested too from different teams and former players. That's what I think. I think it's uniform warfare. Uniform warfare. I think it's. Listen. I think it's intentional because again, listen. They unofficially said at some point they were going to wear the throwbacks. Green Bay was, and I was kind of into that idea. I thought it was going to be an all throwback weekend. But then when they went to yellow helmets and the regular unis, I was like, it's kind of BS. But you know what? I dig this. They're going to go all whites tomorrow or Sunday. So, guys, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see the Steelers 1933 throwback uniforms. And you're also going to see the Green Bay Packers alternate white uniforms. And I do agree with Tortilla. I think it's uniform warfare, Mike.
I think so, too. They're trying to psych us out and have us keep thinking, it's Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase running down the sidelines when it's just, Watson making his season debut. Little mind games going on.
I do want to say good morning to Scott Atkins. Always great seeing Scott on the terrible board. He says Steelers need to be a swarm of those stinging bees with those uniforms. Mm-hmm. Love needs to be seeing yellow even when he closes his eyes. Love needs a lot of hugs in this game. I agree with you. I think this got to be – it would be a really good time to have a breakout game for this defense. Uh-huh. I'm just going to put it like that. We didn't get the opportunities. Again, they came in with a great game plan last week in Cincinnati, and I can't say nothing bad about them. That was a smart way to win a football game, the way that they did the quick passing, and that really opened it up for the run game as well because, again, you're playing on the quick pass all the time. For the defense, first down, second down, you always got to be aware of that because if you're not, you catch Chase on a slant, he goes 90 yards for a touchdown. So it really opened up the game. I got to give them that. Cincinnati, they figured out a way to beat us. They did it. And you know what? It's behind us now, Mike. The Cincinnati Bengals game is nothing but numbers now. We're going to move forward. We do have the Packers coming to the North Shore this weekend to take on our beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. Let me get moving on the board here. Tortilla says we could have had a peanut M&M bowl. And I love peanut M&Ms, man. I do.
Yeah, you do.
Love. Tortilla also says, honestly, Joe might be a step up from Portland. Yeah, you know what? What's going on down there now just might be. What's up, Phil? Phil says, he says, cheers all the Watt haters. Good morning. Good morning to you, man. Glad to see Phil in the house. Phil is in the house. Vegas says, all the pro leagues hated Vegas. Now they all want to be here. Vegas also says shirtless Derpy looked like Chet in Weird Science after Kelly LeBrock turned him into that monster.
That's a good one right there. That is fucking on point.
What did Finch say? He looked like a snail without a shell.
Yes. And it's funny. He looks like all of these things combined.
He really does.
You can't just say, "Oh no, that doesn't fit." You can see all of them.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I don't know where I could see that picture from, but what he said, I think it's a card. I think it might be on SpongeBob, but I could see that shell, the shellless snail, and he does look like that 100%. Neil O'Donnell, what's up, man? Great to see you back on the board. It's been a while since Neil O'Donnell's been up on the terrible board. I can't wait till Mark Malone gets here. Now we could have some kind of quarterback off.
Wow.
Neil O'Donnell
did Larry Brown just pick off another pass?
Yeah. Neil O'Donnell said Finch is out there edging somewhere. Don't let him fool you. We're not, believe me. We know he's edging.
I think they call it gooning now.
Great to see you on the board, Neil. Vegas says those helmets look good. I dig, man. Again, you like them or you don't. You only have to do it every so often. Mike just spilled coffee all over the place, which is hilarious.
And it's a gray shirt, so it just pops out. So
at least you ain't on the camera. You could you'll be all right.
I gotta sit like this from now on.
Tortilla says, I wish the uniforms had white or black pants, but the tan pants are the only thing that makes them a throwback shirt. You know what? I agree, because they did those tan pants back in the early 90s, Mike, whenever they had these same uniforms when Barry Foster played. I thought the pants are stupid.
Oh yeah, but that was the style at the time. You wear an onion on your belt.
I like the white pants. Have you seen the white pants like in the 70s? They were white with the black stripe. They wore. I wouldn't mind seeing them every once in a while. Not all the time, but every once in a while.
Nah.
Well, you don't like white pants. Everybody everybody has white pants. What are you talking about? Nah. Every single team in the history of ever had white pants.
Yeah, I know.
Except for them Cowboys and that dumb silver blue. I hate that.
Yeah, that dumb silver blue can fuck right off down the road.
Field of Still says freaking Sunday. Get here, darn it. I'm curious who's showing up to open a can of SpaghettiOs. I'm right there with you, man. This 11 days is surely taking its time. But I do want to remind you guys, we only have 12 days to the trade deadline, guys. There's, again, swirling rumors around Pittsburgh. Mike, and in the building as well, where the operations go on the south side, Mike, I heard that there is strong rumors of a splash trade, guys. So whatever that means, I don't know. There's optimism around the locker room. I don't know if it's going to be wide receiver. I don't know if it's going to be on defense. I don't know what it's going to be, but I heard that there's strong swirling rumors, Mike. So again, 12 days. We will be learning more sometime in the next 12 days. Tyler Lockett did pop. Vegas just said Tyler Lockett on the board. I wouldn't hate a Tyler Lockett move. He just did become available.
Yeah. I took the Tyler Lockett of 3 years ago.
Yeah, but you said that about all these guys, though. At some point, you're like, well, I don't want DK. I would have taken him 3 years ago. I like DK now. He's not he's not a pain in the ass now. This is what I like the most.
Oh, yeah,
I like him a little bit older.
Yeah,
I like my men a little older, more mature.
Yeah, we know this. Why do you think I'm letting the gray out?
Field of Steel says, Tortilla says this. Derpy looks like he came right out of a Goosebumps episode. Field of Steel says, yo, Cordell, Isle, the third. Where are you? Nonetheless, is what he's saying. Also, Vegas says, get the D lineman from the Jets. You could pluck, you could pluck the shit out of these teams that are bad. And that's generally what people do. It's what they do to our Pirates in baseball. Got to go around the bad teams and look what they got and see if you can pull something off.
Get some Quinnen Williams action going on.
Well, here's the thing: these guys, they realize that they're paying these guys a lot of money and they're not getting things done. So let's make a move. So you know what? I look forward to it. Again, the next 12 days may tell a lot about what's going to go on with this team moving forward. Again, the rumors are swirling on the south side that the Steelers are strongly looking into making a trade by the deadline. So we're going to keep our eye on that as well. Let's move on, guys. The people that were Steelers or from Pitt, Mike, that are advancing in the Hall of Fame nominations. There's guys that got to move forward, guys that get a little bit closer to the Hall of Fame. There are 4 Steelers, 1 old-time Steeler, and then also a couple guys from Pitt. These guys are 1 step closer to the Hall of Fame. Like Gary Anderson. Gary Anderson is 1 step closer to the Hall of Fame. James Harrison. James Harrison's back on the ticket as he was last year. Hines Ward back on the ticket also as he was last year. Marquise Pouncey. Marquise Pouncey is now on the ticket. Mike L.C. Greenwood being pushed forward around on the old timers Hall of Famers. And also, Mike, a couple guys from Pittsburgh. I don't think this first guy I think he's a first year. If he doesn't make it this year, I'll be very surprised. Talking about Larry Fitzgerald. And then also Shady McCoy. Both players moved 1 step closer. So, it's rare to get one guy. So if we can get, 1 and maybe more, it would be great. Certainly pulling for all those players as they do move forward to possibly land Mike in Cleveland, unfortunately. But nonetheless, it is the Hall of Fame. So
yeah, it's Canton. Canton's far enough away from the stench.
Not really.
Yeah. But yeah, it's in Ohio. That place sucks.
Mike Carr, what's up, dude? Great seeing you on the board as always. He says, Lockett, what's the point? He would be behind Calvin Austin III. So, no. You need someone a little bit more close to DK, not another little guy. Good point. It is a good point. Neil O'Donnell says, Brewster used to make an appearance here and there. I'm starting to wonder now. I thought that I had Neil O'Donnell figured out, but I now I'm realizing that I don't. So glad to see you back, Neil. It's great to see you on the board. Vegas says, thanks, Vanilla. I couldn't remember his name. Listen, do you hear that banging and smashing? That's Mike trying to fix his screen. You know how you push buttons and jiggle wires when you're trying to get a computer to work? Not this guy. I heard slamming, banging. I think I heard a scream. Scott says, I think I figured out the Steelers' preference for older quarterbacks. They're the guy at the bar hearing a woman being loud and obnoxious and says, "I can fix her." And Fitz is a shoe in. I agree. I'd be very surprised, of course, if Larry Fitzgerald isn't in on his first year of eligibility, which is this year. Not a Pittsburgh boy, overall. He's not from Pittsburgh, but he did play at Pitt, so he's always going to be a part of Pitt. And, he comes back quite often and does stuff at the college, so good for him. It's time to get into it. I don't know what Mike's trying to fix his camera. I do know this, so I'm going to continue moving forward after I do get this next message coming through. Vegas says, oh, fuck, don't say that. Oh, God, because today is the anniversary. It is 2 weeks since Derpy made his shirtless appearance, if you will, his malfunction, his wardrobe malfunction 2 weeks ago today. Everybody's life changed, certainly here on the show, certainly here on the board. Nobody's been the same ever since. I could vouch for that. Oh, there's what he is. Vegas says, he says Vanilla is shirtless now after he spilled coffee on his shirt. Maybe this is your opportunity, Mike.
No, I'm good. I only take my shirt off for money.
What'd you say?
I only take my shirt off for money. So roll in those donation boys if
you know what. And I'm not even gonna push for that. I'm not even gonna say, guys.
I'll put a goal up there.
Please, by all means, do not.
We raise
donate.
$100 today. I'll take my shirt.
By all means, do not donate today. Tortilla says Mike does kind of look like Wreck-It Ralph.
Great movie.
And also Scott Atkins says, what are the chances the Steelers get a couple interceptions there? I was just thinking, I was in the shower this morning thinking a little bit about this game coming up this weekend, and I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I thought they're due for some splash type plays. Certainly on the defense, you have a bunch of players that love splash plays. So an interception or two or three, would be great. Also, some sacks would be fine. Maybe a fumble, a strip sack, something like this. Something that the Steelers generally do well on defense. I'd like to see a little bit of that this weekend, Mike, because again, the Cincinnati Bengals had the perfect game plan last week. They executed. We lost that game. We got to get back to being able to play Steeler football this week, and I think it's a very good chance. I think we have a great chance actually this week to hang in this game. Oh, for the love of Tortilla, I'm sending that right back to you. I'm turning around. Listen, it's coming right back to you. Reject.
Oh, you're the best, Tortilla. We're $98 away. But Scott, Scott was saying, like the interceptions, we've had so many interceptions just clang off receiver or DB's hands, go through their body, and just dropping easy interceptions. They are beyond due.
You know what? I really think that the defense they're due, and I think this fact that these next 7 games. I mean, there's analysts saying, Mike. I think it was Pete Prisco. Is that his name? Pete Prisco. Yeah. Pete Prisco said that the Steelers are in danger of losing the next 7 games in a row.
Kind of like us starting out 0-6.
Well, I got something else on him too. He says this is what Dan Orlovsky says. He says Pitt needs to add a weapon to realistically be an AFC contender. Like, you really going to listen to anything that this guy says, who said that we're going to be 0-6 at the beginning of the year? We're sitting in 4-2. I can be honest with you, I don't give 2 shits what Dan Orlovsky has to say, certainly at this point. But Mike, let me find it. Pete Prisco says this. He thinks the Pittsburgh Steelers are in danger of losing the next 7 games. So if there is any time for the Steelers, Mike, to step up their game on defense, to start making some big splash plays, to just start doing the things that they do well, it would be now through this next 7 games, maybe get us some wins that people don't think that we're going to win. And we could, that would certainly help. No 2 ways about it. So I'm right there with you.
If they go out and win this game against the number 1 seed in the NFC, it's going to be funny to see the narrative switch.
But I am right there with Scott on that. And I do want to say, Mike, that this is a matchup between the leaders of both North divisions. Mm-hmm. Say what you will. The AFC North and the NFC North leaders are going at it. This is kind of a game that you like to see. Again, the Packers are 3-1 coming into this game. The Steelers are 4-2. I think that's what they are. Are they 4-3-1 or 3-3-1?
I thought they were 4-1-1.
4-1-1? There's no way they're 4-1-1. 4-3-1?
Well, I'm pulling them up now because I forgot. Yeah, 4-1-1.
They only lose 1 game. Did they?
To Green Bay?
Yeah.
4-1-1.
Who'd they lose to?
The Browns, 13-10. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So we do got the Packers.
Joe Flacco.
So it is, guys. It is a matchup between the two North leaders. Of course, the Steelers in first place with their 4-2 record, 4-1-1. Green Bay is also, guys, the NFL.com. Remember last week they had us 8-0 to beat Cincinnati. They had us the week before that 8-0 to beat Cincinnati. Mike, NFL.com this week has Green Bay 7-3 to beat the Steelers this week. Maybe it was 10-0 in those other games. I'm looking at the math and it wasn't mathing. But yeah, 7-3. They're choosing Green Bay. And this is the kind of game that the Steelers win, Mike. It really is. This isn't a dominant team, but this is a team that we are underdogs against. And a lot of times we find ways to win those games. And again, I expect this to be a good game. And I wouldn't be surprised one bit if we do break the schneid and get this win Sunday night.
I wouldn't be surprised either. The way these matchups are looking, I think we're going to pull out a win. I think it's going to be tight. But I can see the Steelers winning it. It's both offenses and defense are, you look at the stats and stuff, they're close. Like it just on like points scored for and against. We give way too many yards, but if we can keep the point total low, like we, in the 20s, I think we have a chance to win, especially with the way the offense is playing right now.
And another thing too, I'm not overly impressed. Look at Green Bay's scores and records. It's not overly impressive. The teams they faced have not been overly impressive. And again, kind of like us in a way, it's hard to really tell what you have with Green Bay. They seem good, but the competition they played, I would think that they should have looked better. They just haven't. So maybe this could be a really good game between the two teams, Mike, and maybe we could walk away with the win. Let me jump back on the board here. Vegas says my LASIK surgery failed that day.
Like my LASIK hasn't been the same ever since I saw Derpy's titties.
Me neither, man. Me neither. Believe me. Let's see, Mr. Tommy. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Mr. Tommy on the terrible board. He says, "Reporter Coach Austin, what's your strategy for Sunday's game?" Austin says, "We're gonna go with the defensive scheme that sucks the least." I like it. Come on, that's using your head, right? It seems a little bit more logical than some of the other things they've done in the past. Also, I do want to say that Mr. Calvin Austin III is at practice, guys.
Yes.
He practiced yesterday, full practice, and today. We'll get into the injury reports for both of these teams here in just a minute. Let me get through some more messages. Before we do that, I'm going to go right here to Mike Cara. What's up, dude? Always great having Mike Cara on the board. Mike Cara says, Con doesn't want to give up anything, so I don't think they're going to trade for anybody, not anybody of substance anyhow. They think that the 4 tight end thing is going to work, which it's not. Scott says it's time. Big play Slay lives up to the title, and a good any big play for big play Slay would be fine for me. At this point, all I've seen is chasing guys around. Mike Cara says we got to win this game. It's big, absolutely. Every single game is big. Every game that you're playing is the biggest game you have that year. It truly, honestly is. Mike Cara says Slay is washed. I haven't seen anything that I really love about Slay so far. You know what? I'm comfortable with his name. I'm comfortable with saying we have Ramsey and Slay back there. But as far as play, I nothing to write home about so far. Maybe he's a late bloomer. I don't know. We'll see if he could come along. But Mike Carr does finish that up by saying we're going to win this one. I agree. Like I said, I think we have as good a chance as any. Scott says I'm trying to speak positive because he has been big play Slay, but in the wrong way. I agree. Mr. Tommy says I started the season thinking the Steelers would go 10-7. I think the 4-1 start gave me a false sense of confidence, and now I'm feeling confident that the Steelers win the next 4 games. It's certainly a roller coaster because I felt like 10-7, and then I felt like it was a lot better. I thought, shit, we're going to win 13 games, but then after seeing the Cincinnati game last week, I feel worse. I'm like, can we even win 10 games? So that's the sense that you get when you have a team that is that's inconsistent, that's consistently inconsistent, and that's been the case for our Steelers. It's hard to get a good feel. It's hard to get a good vibe. And I think that's a little bit of what's going on right now, but let's hope that changes. Listen, if we beat Green Bay, we're sitting 5-2 going into the Indianapolis game. I'm starting to feel a little bit more positive at that point. So big game this weekend, guys, certainly for the morale of Steeler Nation, for the team, for the locker room as well. Tortilla says if we go 0-7, we got to force Derpy to streak across Acrisure wearing nothing but a Superman cape, which I would happily do because I would have enough advance to not watch.
Yeah.
But I think that could be fun. I tell you what, if the donations would go to Derby's bailout money, this is something I could get behind.
Who said we're going to bail him out? That's his family's problem, not ours.
Scott says, with the defense, it's just like a good marriage. At first you don't succeed. Keep on sucking until you succeed.
Sound advice. My man's not wrong.
The guys are they're hella logical today.
This is why we have the best board, the best viewers, the best chatters, whatever you want to say around.
You know, when I say that every day, I say that regularly because I truly believe it. Because I go to some of these other threads and I'm looking at what people say. But there's a lot of retarded people out there, man. And I didn't listen. I'm not talking down around about retarded people, but in the sense that it's funny. Those are some retarded ass people I see in some of these threads. I'm blown away by what comes out of some people's mouths or from their fingertips or however you want to say it. It truly is fascinating what goes through some people's minds these days, man. It truly, truly is. It's scary.
It is.
It's scary.
And sometimes you wonder, are you guys watching the same game?
There's
not even a different of looking at it from a different angle, a different perspective. It's they're looking at it from a different fucking universe of what they're trying to talk about. Oh man, we have differences of opinions here, what we see, but it's within the realm of it makes logical sense what we're both saying. These people, they're out there in fucking La La Land.
What's up, Merlin? Good afternoon to you, Eastern Standard Time, at least. Good afternoon, Merlin. He says, I hope that the defense redeems themselves from last week. First of all, I want to say welcome back. I always love seeing Merlin on the board. Merlin, I couldn't agree more. If there was an opportunity, if there was a time to make amends for what happened last week, I think this week's the perfect time. Coming home, you got the crowd. We're going to be, the fans are going to be loud. Again, we've only played 2 games at the stadium so far this year, one being the Seattle loss, and then just a couple weeks ago against Cleveland. The other home game, of course, being in Ireland. So, I know the fans are hungry. I know they're ready to get it back out there. I know they're ready to be loud. I know they're ready to hear the Renegade. I know they're ready to wave their terrible towel. And I know they're ready to drink a lot of beer. So I think the fans will certainly be doing their part, Mike. And I hope Coach and the team could get it together to win this game, because that's a big win for us. If you can beat Green Bay, again, as you mentioned, I don't consider them talent-wise as the number 1 seed, but they're the number 1 seed right now. And if we beat this team, I'm going to feel pretty good about the Steelers heading into that Colts game. Again, it's definitely going to be a different vibe heading into the Indianapolis game next week if we win or if we lose against Green Bay. So we'll know Sunday right around midnight or so, Sunday night, how it's going to be. But that's the what's going on right now. Mr. Tommy, okay, I'm sorry. Phyllis Steele says, for sure you have to win the 8 AFC games that are left. Merlin says, I didn't think it would be the defense that I would be. I mean, neither. I thought it would be the 41-year-old quarterback or the non-wide receiver 2 or the backup running back who's got catapulted into being a starter, or the offensive line that hasn't been able to make 2 consecutive plays without letting somebody, without blowing a block, with having an overabundance of tight ends. And I did not think it would be the offense that would be carrying the way, Mike. But again, Aaron Rodgers, two 4-touchdown games this year, something that we haven't seen, something that a lot of teams don't ever see. So it's the defense. If they could get it together, and listen, like we were saying yesterday, as far as the defense goes, Mike, I'm not sure that it's the talent, because the talent is certainly there. I've certainly seen older players be very successful. I mean, you see Hall of Famers, the greats. Ray Lewis was no youngster when he was still murdering people on the field. So, I mean, if you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. I think that it's more schematic at this point because, again, we have mad talent. This may be, even the years that we didn't have any of the names, I really feel that there's something wrong here. Something wrong. Certainly, that could put Terrell Austin's job at jeopardy at the end of the year. I would like to see it get fixed. Believe me, I don't want to see Terrell Austin get fired for this. I'd like to see him fix it. Right? We'd like to see him fix it and prove what the problem is, and and things go well. But it seems more within the game plan to me. It really does. It's too many big name players. And again, I know that doesn't equal to wins, but you know what? It equals to they should be playing better collectively as a defense, because you have 11 guys that can play their position very well. Is it the case of guys just can't play together? I don't think it is. I just think that they have to really buckle down and figure out what the fuck they're doing as far as schemes and the game plan. We'll see, though. We'll see. Maybe I'm 100% wrong. but we'll see. Mark Malone said, slowest streak ever. Slowest. Oh, God.
Slowest or most erotic?
I believe me. What I would use to describe that derpy running across the field naked would not be any of those two things that Chin's guys just said, but that's just me.
I'm going with erotic myself. Get him all lathered up in some mayo and just let him loose. So security can't tackle him. They're just sliding off of him. He's going to pull a hammy, but it's going to be worth it.
Tortilla, he says, if Derpy does it, the Browns will pay his bail and sign him immediately. Maybe. Well, you know what? He doesn't have anything else to do on Thursday morning. Maybe he could be practicing with the Browns. Vegas says, will the Steelers score more than 7 first-quarter points this week? This is a really good defense. That's a really good defense in Green Bay. But you know what, though? It is Rodgers. It is Green Bay. It is this is a money game.
We'll have 7 points. We'll be driving, and we'll get stopped at like the 1 yard line as time expires in the first quarter.
Yeah,
and we score immediately on the first play of the second quarter, so the streak lives.
Mike Carr says probably not, but if they do, then we got to worry about them blowing it.
This team's better to come from behind.
I don't know what this team's better at yet. I thought I had an idea, but that game last week in Cincinnati really threw me for a loop, man. I'm hoping that it was just one of those isolated games against a division team, and we could get back to what we've been doing a little bit better, because everything that I've seen so far, Mike, and it's been so inconsistent. We're only 6 games in, and again, keep in mind, Justin Fields was 4-2, the same record as we are right now when he got yanked last year for the likes of Russell Wilson. So we're going to learn a lot still about this football team, guys. We get this game knocked out on Sunday. We'll have 10 games left. So this story is going to tell a lot about the season. I do think that moving forward, we're going to learn a lot about this team, because this may be the best team that we've faced so far.
It is going to be the best team we played by far. And speaking of coming from behind, I think Derpy's good from coming from behind.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I had to take some cold medicine. Now I'm getting loopy. I'm sorry. I've gone loopy. I apologize, Ryan. You're gonna have to deal with
what
this.
I'm dealing with here. Look at this.
I'm sorry. I thought more people would be on the show on camera with us. So it's like I've been doing some cold medicine to get rid of this.
Feel the Steel says, well, the Steelers defense been bailing off the Steelers offense out for years, but here come the tough games again. Both squads better not lay eggs. You're right. Vegas says, hopefully the field is NFL worthy. You know what? They got new sod down. I'm hearing good things about the field. That night after the Cleveland game, they were already tearing the field up. I'm sure you guys seen pictures on the internet. But from everything that I do know, the field is looking good and should be in playing condition come Sunday night. Can't afford to lose any more players. You lose Chris Boswell in that situation. It's not season changing for the team, but it's a damn big loss if he goes down with an injury that Miles Killebrew goes down with. So again, looking forward to the nice field. Scott Atkins says, I just feel like Aaron's going to have ice in his veins. It could certainly feel like that, doesn't it? I mean, it is that revenge game. He don't want to call it a revenge game. It is that Aaron versus the Packers, which he doesn't want to call the Aaron versus the Packers game. He's playing it cool. And I actually have a couple interesting things that somebody had said about that here. I'll get into in just a minute. But I agree with you, Scott. This really has that feeling that Aaron Rodgers is going to have ice in his veins kind of game and win this football game. And again, I think it helps a lot that we are at home. We do have the crowd behind us. And again, providing they don't go with the quick passes the way that Flacco and Tom Brady did for all those years, I think we stay in this football game. But ultimately, we have to figure that out. Whatever that is that we have to figure out, it's got to be figured out, because again, this has only been going on for about 20 years with the Steelers defense. So let's just hope that doesn't happen. Let's get a regular Steeler football game. Let's get this win. I'm feeling it. He says, anytime the Packers give him a chance, he is going for the jugular. This team needs to have killer instinct and break their will early. I couldn't agree more. I've been calling for killer instinct from this team for years. We just don't do it. We don't do it. I'm not saying we're not capable. We just don't. And that's Bill Cowher's teams. And that's Chuck Noll's teams. And that's Coach Tomlin's teams. Mike Carr says, A-Rod, I was for all along but he has been a great blessing. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree. You couldn't have asked for a better situation, certainly with the 41-year-old quarterback. I mean, this was the best situation. Like this wasn't the choose this over a couple other bad situations, and it's basically taking less of the evils.
Yeah.
This was literally a good pickup. And again, maybe if we would have picked him up a couple years ago instead of him going to the Jets, maybe we would be a little further along in this process. But certainly there's talks about him coming back next year. And again, guys, I don't know how that's going to play out. We have the draft. I know that the big plans and ideas were quarterbacks early, and I also do see that Will Howard is back on the practice field as well with his yellow helmet. So again, very interesting moving forward. We thought we had a grip on what was going to happen in April when the draft comes here to Pittsburgh, Mike. But as this season plays on, it's becoming a little bit more blurry.
Yeah, and if he plays well, throughout the season and however the season plays out, and you can get him back, you're not going to get him for $10 million, but if you can get him for quote unquote relatively cheap in quarterback contract terms, do it. Have Will Howard, get another guy in the draft, maybe probably another first rounder, because the first round's not looking that good for quarterbacks this year, the way they're playing this year, and then just keep building the team. Add a piece on offense, add pieces on defense, and so that you really wouldn't be kicking the can down the road, because he's still playing at a pretty high level right now. If he can, that's big if he can continue to play the way he is right now.
I mean, that's going to be a couple of things. It's going to be obviously Broderick Jones can't keep tackling him. That certainly doesn't help. But you know what? I think we certainly have the inside track. We have the advantage to getting him back next year.
I think so too.
Of course, numbers are going to be figured out. I don't think it's going to break the bank. I think he really likes it here. I think he likes the people. I think he likes the fan. I think he likes the people he works with. And I think biggest of all, overall, Mike, I think he likes the fact that this is a football town. And I think he's, just as a football player, he appreciates that. He's not about the New York life. He's not about the Miami life. The guy is, he's a football player. He always has been. So I think it is the perfect fit. And I think that it could be very easily done if that comes around to possibly bringing Aaron back next year, which again, I want to see this whole thing play out first before I make that call. Yeah. I mean, it could turn into a disaster. There's no two ways about it. You always obviously want to think optimism and think that it's going to get better. But the fact of the matter is we don't know. We're going to see. And we'll have a better idea by the end of December if we want that to happen, Mike. But as of right now, I have no problem. I think that they should be having Will Howard more involved in just some different things now that they're going to be bringing him back and he's healthy. Get him involved in some capacity because if you're going to sit behind Aaron Rodgers the way that quarterbacks have done in Green Bay for decades, I would like to have Will Howard just more involved with everything. Being he is one of the young quarterbacks and being that, he might be the next guy. We don't know. He got drafted. He was a national championship winner in college. And the guy has fight. He has love. He has heart. So, again, I would love to see him just be more involved with the team moving forward. The injury's done. Let's get Will Howard just more involved because, again, look how well it works out for Green Bay when you have that good quarterback and you have a guy to sit behind him. We kind of dropped the ball with Ben in that sense. But I tell you what, if we learn anything from Green Bay and anything from Aaron Rodgers, this could certainly be it because this is where they are more successful than anybody, the way they groom their quarterbacks, Mike.
Yeah, and like what they've been doing with Will Howard since he's been out, he's in camp practice, but they've been having him put together video presentations on defenses. And then he has to sit up there in front of the quarterback and go over it to keep him involved. And then they sit there and they critique the stuff that he does.
I love this.
And like you saw him, Aaron Rodgers out at the Penguin game, brought the O-line and brought Will Howard. It's feeling like he probably has him like, okay, you're doing everything I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to be professional. And like I was listening to Cam Newton, saw a clip from him talking about how when he was younger, it was like the Derek Andersons and other backup quarterbacks that helped him learn how to be a professional quarterback. He's like, yeah, we have different skill sets and abilities, but they had something I didn't have. They had NFL experience to guide me through, and that's what helps. And that's, Aaron Rodgers is doing that with Will Howard, and Will Howard doing all these behind-the-scenes stuff to stay mentally involved. Now he gets to go out there and actually practice now. Hopefully they do elevate him off the roster and don't just let him practice for 21 days. He needs all the reps he can. Yeah, he's going to get limited reps, but, in practice, now with Aaron Rodgers in practice too, with all the other stuff that they have him doing, it can help his development. it's a long way to see if he's going to be the guy. But shit, man, keep Aaron Rodgers, keep Will Howard, and maybe get another guy next year in the draft and have all three of them. And then you're bound to find someone out of Will Howard and whoever else you draft to be your guy.
I don't know if I finished up Mike's last comment, so let me I'm going to start it over.
Yeah.
He says, A-Rod is, I was all for, but he was a great blessing, and we have all been lucky to have been a part of it. And I agree more. I couldn't agree more. I mean, if you're a football fan and you're a Steeler fan, hey, come on, this has been fun.
As a fan of football, yeah, just watch him go out there and sling it around like he's still pretty damn good. What, 14 touchdowns?
I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a circus, but it's anything but a circus, Mike. As a matter of fact, he led the team meeting just recently this week, Mike. He stepped up and he took the leadership role in that as well. And again, I don't think it's not the players not buying into him, and even on defense, I don't think it's not the players not buying into what guys like Jalen Ramsey and other veterans are saying. I think that I just think that the coaching staff overall and the captains and everybody needs to get together and figure out how to fix some of these problems. Like, again, if we don't have to get, I'd much sooner things get fixed on every level than have to keep firing people every time. You don't want to, I would like things to get better. And if it can happen, why not us? Why can't we improve and not have to worry about this? And I don't want to call for somebody's head every season. We've been doing it on offense for years. I guess to a capacity it's worked, but or to an extent it's worked. But again, they really have to sit down, do some soul searching, and say what happened on Thursday night, what happened in Seattle, and also just kind of branch it back to years gone by. We have to figure this out, because guess what? Every so often somebody's going to do this to us, and if it's in January, we're going home. Or if it's during the season and you're trying to get to January, you might not make it to January. So whatever you got to do, look at tape of 31 other teams and find out what the teams do that defend as well, and figure out how the hell to stop this. Because again, there's 30 other teams that don't get burned by this play week in, week out. Whenever we see it, we do. So again, whatever the case may be, I would rather things improve, obviously, than have to make drastic changes. We don't know if that's going to happen yet. We don't know if that's possible to happen yet, but that's what I would like to see. You want it to get better. And again, I want to win football games this year. I don't want it to go all year and things good, just up in the air. And we're going to say, oh, well, can they fix this? Oh, this is. And then when the season comes, we'll fire someone. And then going into the next year, we'll have no idea what the fuck, because again, we weren't able to fix it this year. So just moving forward, I would like to see a little bit more improvement on this, Mike. Certainly against teams that maybe aren't as bad as the Bengals might run this against us, and the Bills may start hitting quick slants. And teams that you're really going to have trouble keeping up with. So again, that being one of the bigger things, just get even Aaron on offense, get together with the defensive captains, just talk, guys. What the fuck do we got to do? Because we're all on the same team. That you're not stepping on anybody's toes. This is kind of an everybody in season here. And again, get everybody together, call a special meeting, sit down and watch tape for 30 hours over the weekend, or whatever you got to do. Figure it out, because there are coaching staffs and teams that do these kind of things that make big changes. And again, it's been going on for a long time. If anything, with these players and the leadership roles that they're playing right now, Mike, I'd say get these guys involved somehow. People are listening to Aaron Rodgers, and again on defense, even though it's not going great, people were still listening to Jalen Ramsey and things like this. So, again, I said it last week, Mike, after the game. I said Friday, 7 days ago, this will be the kind of game that ends our season, whether it's in January or whether it's us trying to get a spot in December. If we don't figure out how to fix what happened on Thursday night, that will be what we see as we watch our last Steeler game for the season.
Yep. And we've seen that how many times?
The only even Tebow to Demaryius Thomas. It was basically the same kind of play. It was that slant, and so look at every time the Steelers been eliminated. How many times the Patriots did that to us? How many times Tom Brady killed us with a slant? It's just something that needs to systematically be fixed. And again, I'd like to see it fixed rather than chop heads. But if it comes down to chopping heads, you're gonna have to chop heads. I would much sooner get it fixed first. So let's hope they can do that. Mike, if you have anything else, if not, I'm going to get back on the board.
Nope, we're good.
Here we go. I'm going to go right here to where Tortilla says Derpy looks like he comes from every hole.
Wow. Wow.
Neil O'Donnell says, I got the Steelers to cover on this one. Aye. Neil O'Donnell's back betting.
Him and Larry Brown.
I don't
The day the big gambling rings are broken up.
I don't like where this is
Neil
going,
O'Donnell
guys.
shows up.
He shows up
suspicious.
today.
A little suspicious.
Cody, what's up, my man? Great seeing Cody Silva on the board as always. Cody says, I'm at the casino gambling, drinking beer. I do have AirPod in though. That's awesome, brother. Hope you win lots of money, man.
While listening to us. And if you win while listening to us, remember, if we reach $100 today, I will take my shirt off.
He's a skeezer. You stop. For one, I don't want to see him without a shirt. For two, you win your money and go spend it, brother. Go get yourself a Lambo or something, man. Hope you win big. Good luck. Mark Malone says, O'Donnell, you son of a bitch, don't bet any more Steeler games. We were definitely on the same board, on the same plane right there, for sure. That was my first thought as well. Neil O'Donnell says, LOL, it's more difficult to win when you can affect the outcome of the games, Mark. It's okay, I got you on that. Phil Steele says, hey, Neil, he says, I'm sticking with my prediction. Phil Steele says, Steelers 3, the Cheeseheads 2. Bank it. Tortilla says, put my money on a dildo being thrown on the field, and then do it to yourself. Just make sure you bet enough to pay your bail.
Whoa. Do it to yourself. So you're going to throw the dildo on the field and do it to yourself?
I don't know.
Is that what we're getting at here?
Is the dildo still flying? I was seeing that for a while, these green dildos in the WNBA and elsewhere. Has anybody seen a green dildo in a couple of weeks? I haven't. Scott says this. He says, bring Aaron back next year and groom Will Howard. That's where I'm at, dude. He says, draft another weapon on offense and get a defensive tackle, run stuff for Aaron. Is going to be going to open a restaurant in the Berg. Well, we'll take it, man. It's probably going to be all kind of vegan shit, but I'll take it. Cody says, I'm just going to say it because I haven't heard anyone else say it. Parsons sucks. He's not close to TJ, not close to Garrett. I bet he only gets 2 solo tackles and no sacks. The guy is overrated.
Ooh.
It's a hot take, man.
It's a hot take.
But, I got to be honest. I'll wait until last week when he had the 3 sacks. He did not look strong, so we'll see. Let's hope that he's just not picking up. And, maybe he had a good week and he's having a down year. We'll hope on that.
Yep.
Neil O'Donnell says, I like Howard's chances to develop. He will give it 100% effort, and I agree. I didn't like him at first. I didn't love the idea. But we have something in place. Why not work with it? I mean, don't sit around on shit for, and wonder in April what we're going to do as far as a quarterback. Get the guy involved here. Tortilla says, what kind of food would Rogers Restaurant serve? Shroom sandwich? Yes, Tortilla. They probably would have shroom sandwiches, and that might be the only thing that I would eat from something from Aaron Rodgers' vegan restaurant. The shroom sandwiches might be good. Even if they're not good, it's going to be a good time at least. Cody says, we lost more getting rid of Pickens than Cowboys did Parsons. He was mildly mediocre.
Ooh.
Cody says Nick Herbig is better than Parsons. You know what? They're really good in their own ways. And I got to be honest with you, talking now, if I had to take one of the two for my defense, I would take Herbig right now. I just think he's hot. And again, before that 3-sack week, Parsons just didn't really get it going yet this year. So right now, I would happily take Nick Herbig, but I'm not going as deep as you are with the Parsons. Yeah. I think he's really good, but again, he certainly has a way to go this year, Mike, to live up to what he usually is.
Mm-hmm.
Tortilla says, I wouldn't go that far, Cody. Let's see. RB says, I'm not saying it. What's up, dude? I do want to say what's up to RB. Always great to see my man on the board. And RB is the leader, Mike, the leader in the CBS Pick'ems. He's been very strong in his picks so far this year. I can't wait to see how this all turns out. And while I'm on it, don't forget, get on and make your picks, because once the game starts tonight, you won't be able to make a pick anymore for tonight's game. So if you are on the Pick'em board, make sure you get over and get your picks. I'm as guilty as some people are, Mike. I only have about 4 or 5 games picked. I got to get in and get the rest picked. But if you're on the board, or if you're in the competition, get over there, place your picks. And if you just go right outside of this screen on the YouTube page for us here at the Two Dumb Yinzers, you could hit the link. I believe it's in blue letters. It's free. It's free to sign 100%. Up. and it takes about 30 seconds to do. You could make your picks every week with us. It's been a lot of fun.
You noticed it was pick day, and we laid down the law on Derpy that he's not allowed to change picks from what he says on air and puts on the picking page. He decides not to show up.
He lost his picks. He was been eliminated this week, so he could do whatever he wants. There's going to be repercussions.
Consequences and repercussions.
RB says this. He says, I'm not saying it will or won't work. It's funny to me that we're the only franchise that has a 6th-round quarterback who feels that the guy is the future leader. That's interesting take.
I was never a big Will Howard fan, but now that he's here, let's rock with him. But a couple of the guys that I watched that break down quarterbacks, they were high on him, that he has NFL
I'm not seeing
traits
a lot that I don't like. Every time I see or hear anything, like I'm waiting to hear something that I don't like. It hasn't happened yet with Howard, and the things that I find just as important as the skills is the heart. This guy seems to have the heart, Mike. I think I have to be proven now that be shown that he has the skills to keep up with the heart, because I think the guy could be a successful quarterback from what I've seen, from the limited small doses that we've had of Will so far.
And that's like one thing you never take away from him, even in his college career, when even I think he was at Kansas, that he puts everything he has out there. It's just the ability going to match that output. You hope that it can, because if it can, I think he could be an effective NFL starter. In this offense with those short to intermediate passes, getting the ball out quick to where it needs to be, I think he can be effective in that offense.
Tortilla says Rogers would also serve ayahuasca pasta.
I'm in
too. You know what? The ayahuasca with the initial vomiting,
you'll be fine.
I could do without that, but you know what? I'm in on the ayahuasca pasta.
Sometimes you need a little good purge for the drugs to kick in.
Scott says Aaron's shroom room. I like this. This could be a thing, guys. Let your taste buds soar into the clouds.
I like it.
And they also have a marketing guy in Scott. I like that. That's a really catchy tagline. Cody says Nick Herbig has one less sack than Parsons, and he's not even a starter. Herbig's hot, dude. Good. And he's going to get looked over. I mean, he's not the biggest, not the most, he's not scaring people. He's going to be looked over by a lot of NFL fans that don't watch the Steelers week in, week out, and I'm fine with that, because he comes up in clutch moments. Like you're looking Highsmith, you're looking Watt, you're talking all these other big names, and here comes little Nick Herbig, changing the game, causing sacks, fumble. So I'm big on Nick Herbig.
So am I. I thought at first he was just going to be a situational pass rusher, and then this year he came in and he's a very effective against the run.
You ain't shitting. Tortilla says, well, no one's offering two first-round picks for Herbig and willing to pay him $45 million. His numbers don't tell the whole story. Yeah, you're right. And I think that's kind of where I was going. People weren't going to run to pay him money, and I kind of like that. Let's keep him here. We'll pay him money, and if he's productive, I have no problem with that.
I don't know. I have a feeling he's going to get paid if he hits free agency.
I mean, somebody will. That's the thing. I mean, it isn't like there's everybody in the league is going to turn a cold shoulder. There's going to be people that are interested, but I would rather pay Nick Herbig than Alex Highsmith. I think he's just more productive. And again, the areas that was his weakness was the run game. His numbers on the run game are just as high or higher than anything that Highsmith has going on. So again, but I wasn't he was on Highsmith early, Mike. I like Bud Dupree, so maybe that's just me trying to justify and maybe trying to figure out a way to get past Alex. I don't know. I just do know that I like Herbig a lot. I haven't seen much from him that I didn't like. There's not any tell signs where I'm like, shit, well, this is this or this is that. I've been very, very satisfied with what I've seen from Nick Herbig since day one. The way he works with TJ, the way he really improves his game on the regular. You got to like his work ethic. So Nick Herbig is the man. No two ways about it. RB says people who call for people who call to fire Austin just show their ignorance to football and why they shouldn't speak on it. Like Austin does mean anything more than speak at meetings and run drills. You're right. I think when you dig into it and see what's really happening behind the scenes, I think that's ultimately correct. RB also says Austin never ran 3-man fronts with cover 2, cover 3. He's actually been known for 4-5 zone blitzes. Cody says Nick Herbig has 1 forced fumble and 1 interception. Parson has 0. RB also says this: the WNBA green dildos were called green missiles, mocking them wanting a higher pay because of shared revenue, even though the league loses money every year and has been losing money every year for 29 years. I can't believe that the WNBA is still a thing. Listen, I'm not against it. I like watching women's sports. I really do. I watch women's volleyball. Pitt has a really great team. I like watching softball. I like watching women's basketball. But that league has just been it's ran terribly. It's a terribly ran league.
Almost as bad as my fucking monitor right now.
Man, what's going on?
It's
usually my equipment. That's why I'm not that angry. What's going on? For one, I don't have to look at you, and for two, it's not my equipment, so I'm getting by. I do though want to say good morning or good afternoon and welcome to Joseph Murphy on the board. Great, and welcome to the show. He says, which is bet for this week? For our game, I'm going to say Pittsburgh wins this football game, and I'm going to give more of a score tomorrow. I don't know if I have a feel for this game yet, just because the Cincinnati game kind of threw me for a loop. If it wasn't for that Bengals loss, I think I would have had a better idea of how I think this game's going to go. But I'm kind of gone through a loop because of the Cincinnati game. But, Joe, I do think that the Steelers, they do win this game. I think that it's at home. I think they get the crowd behind them. I think that they're coming off a loss. They're coming off an 11-day break as well, as we did off of the Europe game where we got to sit back, watch, have the extra days to prepare, extra days to get healthy. And then we came and dominated the Browns. Of course, yes, the Packers are better than the Browns. Defense is tough. Cleveland's defense was tough, but overall, we do have to figure it out. And I think we win this football game, guys. I really do. But again, I think more of a score tomorrow. I'll give on what I believe the score is going to be and what kind of game it'll be. Richard says, "Good morning. Always great seeing Richard on the board. Another superstar on the picks. Mike Richard always doing very well on the picks as well." For Tortilla says that Cody, so Brian Burns is better than Watt and Miles, Garrett and Crosby. Mark Malone, my man, there he is. We got Neil O'Donnell and Mark Malone, Mike, right one after another on the board. I think I just went into some kind of flashback to see those two names right next to one another. Obviously, one in the 80s, one in the 90s, but still heading into the throwback uniform weekend, Mike. Yes. I'll take it. It's a great theme for the weekend. We're going to do something a little different tomorrow, a little special. Join us tomorrow because we are going to have a little fun for the throwback game tomorrow on the show. And I couldn't agree with you more. I could use a little of that Rasta pasta right now myself, my friend.
Hell yeah.
Welcome, Mark. Glad to have you on the board, sir. Neil O'Donnell says, "Don't light your stash on fire." Oh, shots are fired. Is that it? Is that it, Mark Malone? Is that it, Mark Malone? I don't know, man. This could get really interesting as Neil O'Donnell fires shots at Mark Malone. Don't light your stash on fire, buddy. Merlin, my man, Merlin Ames, he says Rogers he is not big into recreational drugs as implied. He's done the ayahuasca about 4 times total. Did not do it this last off season. LOL. It's interesting. I didn't know that. Mark Malone says Finch is a big fan of women's sand volleyball. You know what? So am I. I love women's volleyball. Women's sand volleyball. I like the volleyball without the sand. I like them volleyball women, man.
Yeah, you do. You're like obsessed with it. It's like almost borderline creepy.
But any women's sports, though, you know me. I don't miss a Pittsburgh Passion game.
No, you don't.
I haven't missed a Pittsburgh Passion game in years. And these women are fully covered in pads and play football at a professional level. And I don't miss a game. I really don't. I'm going to go right here to Scott. Scott said instead of the traditional 4 wide receiver set on the 3rd and long, bring in 2 more tight ends and 2 wide receivers, Freiermuth and Washington, or 2 totally different animals to cover or to decoy. I agree. I would like to see them get a little bit more creative with all the tight ends. We have them. We use them. Yeah. Obviously, Mike, the last game, 4 touchdowns were all tight end catches.
Like the game before was the Darnell Washington game. Then we had the Freiermuth game. All right, let's get them both. Let's get like 3 of them rolling at once, right. Plus DK in there. But there's only so much. But we're only having 58 total snaps on offense, so it's kind of hard when you're limited in snaps.
Yeah, and also Let me see. I had something interesting here that kind of was going back to that. Maybe I'll get back to it here if I could find it.
Yeah.
But let me stay on the board. I don't want to lose focus here of what's going on. We're getting some really good messages today. Somber, hey, what's up, bro? Always great seeing Somber back on the terrible board. Somber says he said that in the Rogan Paul. Okay, so maybe that again, Aaron Rodgers isn't into the recreational drugs like a lot of people thinks he is. As it's being confirmed on the board by Somber, that was on the Joe Rogan podcast. Mark Malone says bikini-clad fit women on a beach playing sports. What can be better?
Derpy streaking across.
Oh, come on, man. Come on.
I mean, when you're pulling up the hub to find something to rub out to, bikini-clad women on the beach or Derpy running naked. Derpy running naked is the number one choice.
Oh man, I gotta go. I wanted to eat today. Gotta stop this shit, man.
Hey, y'all put that in my mind. I gotta say it. If my mind is gonna picture that disgusting shit, I'm gonna keep repeating it.
Tortilla says we need to bring the steel bitches back. Scott says Wednesday special, anything is fried, including you. I listen.
Fuck yeah, brother.
If he opens a restaurant, I'm recommending the board. I'm sending the terrible board. Guys, just to go like back a couple comments that you had said something about spreading the wealth, spreading the love, if you will. That's the term that's actually being used in the Steeler locker room. Like because of the way that they are hitting different receivers.
Yeah.
Of course, Roman Wilson's a topic that we go on and on about. But Mike, look at these numbers. This year, they have. Listen to this. It's going to blow your mind. In the Mike Tomlin era, this year, 8 different players have been hit for touchdowns for the Steelers. 8. The tight ends, DK. Scotty Miller. It's 8 different players for the Steelers have scored caught touchdown passes by Aaron Rodgers. Mike, the only other time in the Tomlin era that it was as high as this was in 2016, where Ben did it 9 times. He hit 9 different receivers for touchdowns.
Wow.
But listen to these numbers, guys. Starting from 25 backwards through Mike Tomlin's tenure, this is what it looks like, Mike. 8 different receivers caught touchdowns for the Steelers this year. Last year, 4.
Wow.
4 different Steelers. The year before that, 3. The year before that, 3. The year before that, 4. In 2020, Mike, 5 different Steelers caught touchdown passes. 2019, 4. In 2018, 6, which is the second highest, or right behind the other one. In 2017, Mike, 4 different players caught touchdown passes on the Steelers in 2017. I'll skip over 2016. 2015, 5 different players caught touchdown passes. 2014, 4 different Steelers caught touchdown passes. 2013, 5 different players. 2012, 4 different players. 2011, 5 different players. 2010, Mike, 3 different players for the Pittsburgh Steelers caught touchdown passes. 2009, 7. So there's another high one, 7 different players. And then 2008 was 5. So all things considered, Mike, just 6 games into the season, they're already sharing the love more than they have in the whole entire tenure of Coach Tomlin. So I mean, you have to like that when you're talking offense. You're talking about, you know what I mean? You gotta like this.
Yeah, you can figure some of those years it was like you're thrown to what AB.
And that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, like AB and Heath Miller and Lev Bell. Like those 3 were going to be the guys getting all your touchdowns. Then you got to hope whoever that number 2 wide receiver was going to, get you some touchdowns. But that's just crazy.
It really is crazy.
Because like watching some of those Ben games, you would see like he would spread the ball around. Like a lot of people would get catches. So I just assume a lot of guys were catching touchdowns. But really talking about it, the numbers that you put out, and then thinking of those rosters, like AB, Heath, Lev Bell catching a lot of touchdown passes.
Absolutely. That was certainly what it was. Like certainly in those years where they had 3, on the Ben and Bell and Brown years, there were a couple of years in there. The one year they had 3 different guys caught touchdown passes.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's not going to win you many championships. I got to tell you. Let's get back on the board here. Tortilla says, "Bring the cheerleaders back for the snow game." I would love that. I know. I'm kind of proud of not having the cheerleaders, but at the end of the day, I want cheerleaders. What the fuck's wrong with me for being proud of not having the cheerleaders? We're just different that way. I like that. But I like chicks though too, so I would love to have that. Somber says 4 is kind of sad. He says, damn, 3. It's even worse. Cody says Tomlin's defense sucks. Defense sucks. Tortilla says, we had it so good. And I always said that too. I said, life after Ben's going to be a bitch, man. It really is. Life after Ben. And I said that for about 10 years prior to him retiring. Somber says, I guess all you need is 3 when those 3 guys can get open.
Yeah.
Mark Malone, that ain't no lie. To Cody. Cody says this. I've heard people say that Tomlin runs that defense. I've heard people say Tomlin runs that defense. Has heard people say Austin runs that defense. Whichever one runs it needs to stop and let the other one try. Or have James Harrison come in and threaten everybody to have to shave his back again or wash his back. It worked. Yeah. It worked for Chris Boswell. Mike, he's one of the best kickers in the history of the game.
Right.
All James Harrison had to do was say, if you miss this field goal, you have to wash my back. Look at him now. Look at him now. Tell me I'm wrong. Where's this strategy go wrong? I'm not seeing the. I'm not seeing. Let's take a look at a few other things we got going on here in the Berg, guys. Spreading the love. There it is, Mike. Spreading the love. That's the note that I did have. So, of course, we just did cover that. I don't want to cover that no more. Ray McLeod. Mike, we talked about Ray getting cut down by the Falcons yesterday. I kind of facetiously asked yesterday, do we want Ray back? He said no, and that's fine because Ray McLeod is heading to the New York Giants. The New York Giants. The hot New York Giants, nonetheless, Mike. Ray McLeod is going to probably on about his 28th out of 32nd team since he's left here.
That's what it feels like.
Every time I turn on the TV, he's on a different team. Like, it's not like it's every season. I swear, every time I see him, he is just on a whole nother team.
Yeah, because he went from the 49ers, the Falcons. I think he was at 2 other places. At least that's what it feels like.
Yeah. Also, the Steelers released rookie offensive tackle Gareth Warren. If you're not watching, I'm shrugging my shoulders.
Like who's?
Yeah, who the fuck is Gareth Warren? Let's see on the board also here. There we go. I'm gonna go right to Scott. Scott, he says Steelers need some long drives that end up in touchdowns, especially if they are able to get a lead. Defense might be better if they rested with ball control. I'd like to try it out at least. You know, let us get one of these situations. Every game is either, you know what I'm saying? It's been such a bizarre year. It's been a bizarre couple years. If you're a Steeler fan like we are your whole life, you know, you got to admit these past couple years have been, they've been odd, peculiar. Mark Malone says it's pretty much confirmed by those that know that Tomlin Mark Malone says it's pretty much confirmed by those in the know that it's Tomlin. I see what you're saying. Somber says, don't the Seahawks have male cheerleaders? They do. They have a couple.
It's the Vikings.
Oh, the Vikings got a couple. That's right. Yes, it was the Vikings. Cody saying bench Tomlin. Huh. That's an interesting take. Maybe if you could bench your head coach for a week, let somebody else do it. And if the intern coach does the job, then you have a battle, Mike, a coaching battle. A coaching controversy.
Each one gets to coach the next game.
Yeah.
They alternate games.
If that's not incentive, you know what I mean? Come on. Make it competitive. I don't know. Mark Malone says Rooney will never do it. Scott says, never say male and cheerleader in the same set. But you know, at college, them guys, they really get up there with their hands and they hold them. I can respect that. I like the hand placement on that shit. Tortilla says, I heard Derek Carr talk about playing for Tomlin at the Pro Bowl. He said he loved Tomlin, but he also said that Tomlin would come in and say, let's get that money, and that's it, and it's the Pro Bowl. But still, which also related, guys, they are moving the Pro Bowl this year to the week of the Super Bowl. I don't know how to feel about that. Ultimately, because I like All-Star games, and we had this conversation. I know Mike hates them, and he'd rather do without them. But I really feel that this is putting the kibosh on the All-Pro game by sticking it in that weekend. It's always been its own thing. It's always been the week before or the week after the Super Bowl. They were even doing a couple of years in a row there. But I just think you're really starting to delude the whole weekend. And again, it's not even a weekend anymore. It's going to be mixed in with the Super Bowl, which is more fun for the weekend of the Super Bowl. Just more stuff going on, more football on your TV. But again, Mike, I think this is ultimately a part to fade out the All-Star game in football. Ultimately,
yeah, it's no one wants to be there.
I want to be there
because you're a psychopath.
Well, yeah, but come on. Who doesn't have an All-Star game? Everybody has an All-Star game. It's just it is.
Oh, if everyone was jumping off the bridge, would you jump off the bridge?
Yes, I would. I've done it. I've been there. But I'm just saying, I don't know.
If everyone was shooting up heroin, would you ask for?
Well, now this could be anything. If everybody's doing hot models, would you want to do it? Yes, of course.
Well, yeah.
But now you can't. You've already used your one life on that one. What's this? I see some comments down here. Somber says, pretty sure it's the Vikings. What an oxymoron. Yeah, right? What in the Vikings? I don't know. I don't know if the Vikings are into. They just seemed awfully barbaric, and they might go after these guys. But I don't know. What do I know? Cody says we can have cheerleaders in the NFL because San Francisco will have. We can't have the cheerleaders in the NFL because San Francisco will have all men. It's possible. It is possible. Mark Malone says, remember when the Browns beat Tomlin without having a head coach at the game? I do. Talking about getting out-coached. You got out-coached by somebody who doesn't have a coach. Somber says, got to be a lovely view. Tortilla says they're called queer leaders. I like that. Cheer queens. Cheer queens is what Somber's saying. Hey, nothing wrong is being said. It's the Q. I mean, come on, it's the Q.
Oh, God,
and all. Cody says the Pro Bowl is a lame flag football throwing contest. You remember back when guys used to get wrecked during the game, and I think that's why they don't do it anymore. They don't want guys getting wrecked. But at the end of the day, I like to see the All Pros, the All Stars hanging out and doing competitions. I like all that. It kind of goes back to the slam dunk contest in basketball and the home run contest in baseball. It feels like you're taking something away by taking that out. But again, it's still there. It's going to be the week of the Super Bowl. We'll see how it plays out. They're doing it different this year, like where it was in Orlando the past couple years, 5 years or so. They were doing it in Orlando exclusively. And so they're putting it on Super Bowl weekend. We'll see how that goes. I just don't think it's going to go well for the All-Star game.
It's like no one, like I said, no one wants to be there anymore. They're done. They just want to go home and relax after that point.
You know what? I want to relax though. I don't know. Sometimes you do what's best for the business, and for whatever reason, I don't know. They're phasing it out. Mark Malone says maybe Rooney can get a squad of queer leaders stealing McBeams with their eye beams sticking out.
It's kind of disturbing you thought of that, Mark.
No,
I don't judge. I don't judge.
It's par for the course.
It is par for the course for Mark though. But it's just a little disconcerting.
Some are saying they can wear skirts. They can wear terrible towels as skirts. Speaking of
Derpy can be the head of the Steely McBeam cheerleaders.
Speaking of ridiculous things, yesterday we spoke briefly about all the distractions taken away from the Baltimore Ravens, Mike. Listen to some of the things I've seen that they had. Of course, the ping pong table.
Yeah.
Video game consoles. Now, that's not abnormal. I've seen this in locker rooms.
Yeah.
Basketball hoops. Okay. And finally, the last thing in this particular list that I have, Mike, cornhole boards. Cornhole board. I mean, once you bring cornhole boards in, I think that you are out of the idea of that your team is focused on what it is that they're doing. I mean, cornhole is just one of the most summer picnic things that you could ever do. No cares.
You're drinking, playing,
you're tossing a fucking beanbag 20 feet away. I mean, it was just what's going on over there? No wonder they're 1-5. I don't know what we have going on in our locker room, but cornhole boards in your locker room.
Yeah.
Watch out,
they need something for the linemen to do.
Look out, Derrick Henry's throwing his beanbag. Don't get hit in the head.
I like how the first report is Harbaugh got rid of it, and then the next day is like, oh no, the player said we wanted to get rid of this. We didn't want no distractions. Who's covering for who and who's lying?
They're all lying. They're Ravens.
It's
Speaking of Ravens, you guys want to hear another interesting fact, guys? The Steelers, as of right now, according to the sports line website, Mike, the Steelers have an 83.9% chance of making the playoffs. 83.9% chance of making the playoffs. Now get this. The Ravens, 16.8. They're only giving the Ravens a 16.8. It gets even better. The Bengals that are ahead of the Ravens, they only have a 14.9% chance of making the playoffs. And finally, Mike, the Cleveland Browns, 6. Just a puny 6% chance.
Told me there's a chance.
Unfortunately, but it's the Browns. It's an even less percentage than that. But Mike, yes, as far as sportsline.com, the Steelers have an 83.9% chance to make the playoffs. Again, only 6 games into the season. Baltimore 16.8, Cincinnati 14.9, Cleveland 6.
I see if Lamar plays, maybe they might have a chance, but if he doesn't play, I think they lose this game and they're gonna be fucked. They're gonna be out of it.
You know what? I was feeling the same thing, but I think he's gonna play. He was there.
He was limited though. He was limited. I just pulled up their practice report, but
but that doesn't mean anything sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, we have guys that have been out all week from practice, and there are veterans,
and then they're playing. Yeah.
Which I am going to get to in a second. Like, I am going to bring up both Green Bay and Pittsburgh's injury report after I do catch up on these messages that I have in front of me. Right here. Cody says they found out a way to play without pads and a helmet, which is what games are going to come to anyway. Yeah, possibly. They keep getting, depending how much money they have to keep paying out in CTE settlements. John, what's up, Big John Stud,
Hello.
middle name Mud. Always great seeing. Steeler Freak on the board. He says Derpy gets a Brazilian wax and wears a terrible towel as a thong. Fuck, I wish I would have skipped over John's comment before I read it.
Now, like I said, Mark Owen, that is an erotic image running across Heinz Field, and he just rips that towel off and starts waving it. And he has a little one taped to the end of his penis, and it's helicoptering and waving it.
Come on, man.
He got 2 on his nipples, and they're going around waving. Oh, yeah.
I'd be waiting for James Harrison to come out and slam his ass. No more fun in Baltimore. That's right, bitches. No more fun over there. Merlin says they put cornhole on ESPN. I know. Where's the chicks anyway? They should put chicks wearing terrible towels, nothing but terrible towels playing cornhole. Then I'll be into it. Cody says they have dodgeball on ESPN. Yeah, they do, man. I like
ESPN 8, the Ocho.
I like all that. Yeah, ESPN the Ocho. I like that. I like the dodgeball game. I like all those weird games, man. I like curling whenever that comes on. I like volleyball. Scott says the Steelers can win these next 2 games. This team will start to believe. I agree with you, and this is the big turning point. This is it's either going to go bad or go good from here. I mean, come on, look at it realistically. They need to feel that they can compete for a Super Bowl to push them to be better as the season progresses. I agree. You don't want to start questioning yourself halfway through the season. This is where you want to start feeling good, and you want to start playing some good football, and you want to start clicking, and you want the penalties to be down, and you want the mistakes to be down. And we're pretty much healthy. Malik Harrison at practice yesterday. Calvin Austin III at practice yesterday. Will Howard at practice yesterday. This team is healthy, with the exception of a couple of long-term guys out. I mean, relatively healthy. Cody says this week the Globo Gym Cobras are playing Average Joe's Gymnasium.
I'm putting my money on Average Joe's. I feel an upset coming.
Scott says
Peter LaFleur is going to carry him to victory.
Scott says Colts win, coupled with the Packers and Chargers win, vaults them to the top of this top seed in the AFC. Somber says, you know what? That's another injury. I was going to get into that in a second. Zach Frazier is hurt with a calf. Kind of came out through the week here at practice. It doesn't seem serious. Somber saying, I hope it isn't. And from what I'm reading, it doesn't seem serious. They're going to treat it tenderly throughout the rest of the week, of course. But I don't know. But I don't think it's going to be serious. It's the way they're wording things.
Yeah, I'm hoping just like a little cramp or something, a little Charlie horse that's nagging. That's what I'm hoping.
Let's see. Tortilla says, shit, if they switch to flag football, maybe cornhole's the move. Chicks playing cornhole. Porno. Yeah, see, yes. This is why Yinzers are smart. This is why you're the smartest people I know. This board is freaking amazing. John says pickleball, cornhole, and line dancing, white people activity. Speaking of white people activities,
exactly.
Mike, I am going to be throwing down, and I made leaps and bounds in my all-white team. I got to be honest with you guys.
I'm waited with bated breath over here.
You're going to be so excited to hear about my team, guys. I'm going to get to that near the end of the show. Cody says, yeah, but White Goodman has the hair.
But guys, does he know the 5 Ds of dodgeball? Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. No, he does not.
Good point. Let me pull up my injury report, Mike. This is what it looks like for the Pittsburgh Steelers so far this week. Of course, today is Thursday. This is all the way up through yesterday. Guys, they did not play for the Steelers. It did not practice, did not participate. Was this Cam Hayward and TJ Watt out with rest time. So glad we're giving Cam all that extra money. He's certainly earning it. I got to be honest with you. People that were full back at practice, Mike, Will Howard, his hand, of course, the injury. He still remains on the IR. Malik Harrison with his knee, but he still remains on the IR. And Calvin Austin III with his shoulder expected to be back this Sunday. Getting pretty healthy, Mike. Again, overall health is a big thing because, again, sometimes you might say, oh, what's this person? Who cares? It all comes with the depth. You know what I mean? If it gets down to it, we need linebackers or we need this, we're going to be set. So again, the depth they built lately, Mike, you're starting to see it come to fruition. Again, throughout the game, we use depth a lot, certainly. So you're seeing it, and guys are healthy. Nobody really missing practice time as of now. This is what the Green Bay Packers look like as of yesterday. I'm sorry. Did not practice yesterday was Lucas Van Ness, Mike. He has a foot injury. He may not play this week. Outside linebacker, of course. The kicker, Brandon McManus, with the quad. He did not participate. And Dontavian Wicks, with the wide receivers out with a calf. On the limited list, it was Devontae Wyatt with the knee, the defensive lineman. The offensive lineman, Aaron Banks, with the groin. These next 5 guys, our next group of guys, offensive tackle, Anthony Benton did not, or was limited. I'm sorry. These guys are limited. Nate Hobbs, the cornerback with the knee, was limited. Running back Josh Jacobs with the calf was limited. Xavier McKinney with an ankle knee. Safety was limited. Evan Williams with the back, the safety, he was limited. Offensive tackle Zach Tom with an oblique was limited. Wide receiver Christian Watson with the knee remains on the IR. Mike Quay Walker, the linebacker with his neck, he was full participation. And offensive tackle Jordan Morgan with his knee was full participation.
Yeah, with was it Watson? He might be coming off the IR for this game too.
Hey, bring him on! Bring him on!
Yeah.
Let's grab a couple messages here. Let's see. Tortilla. Okay, here it is. Tortilla says the women's cornhole championship will be called the Glory Hole. Yes, it will. Somber says, good to see Will throwing again. Glad Woodside is gone. Me too. Woodside was just a body. He was just a piece to have numbers in place. That's all. Mark Malone, did they ever say what happened to CA3's shoulder?
No, I never saw anything.
Not as an official report. No,
just that it was, hurt.
Yeah,
he's looking. One day he's looking good. One day he's looking in a little bit of pain.
Cody says NDBAA, National Dodgeball Association of America. Somber says, anything, Mark? Mark says, I'm guessing it was a pretty good separation. A couple of things, guys. Mike, as we're all right. Let's see where we're at. You guys want to hear something funny? You know how I always go on and on. I'm not always, but I do go on and on about old fat boy up in Pittsburgh there with the
bully.
Yeah. You want to hear something that I found on him yesterday? I thought it was mildly entertaining. Now, this was in a stream, a thread. No, this was in a thread on Twitter. This was to Mark Caboli. I thought it was funny. It was just kind of interesting. This person wrote, Mike John Smith replied to something Mark Caboli had on Twitter. This was his tweet to Mark. You're going to die a fat fuck. Heart attack or diabetes will take you out.
God damn.
So you thought that,
Jesus Christ, man. This is just sports. Settle down,
bro. You thought the guys give you a problem on our board.
God damn.
Yeah, but that's how likable these guys are. I mean, come on.
Right? Yeah. See, I'm likable. I'm lovable.
But come on, you're going to die a fat fuck. Heart attack or diabetes will take you out.
Wow.
Why that's funny to me, I don't know, but it is.
God damn.
John says Glory Hole Championship sponsored by Jack in the Box.
I like it.
I like.
Jack in her box.
Let me grab a couple of things here, Mike. Calvin Austin III says Roman Wilson is not even starting to scratch the surface on what he can do. Calvin Austin III said that about Roman Wilson, and I got to be honest with you, Mike. Everything I've seen Roman Wilson do has been nice.
Yeah.
That one game in the playoff or in the preseason, he had 4 catches for like 90-some yards.
Yeah.
He's caught the couple balls that were thrown to him. And again, when I seen him jump over a guy that was 2 times his size last week, I was kind of impressed in that as well. Mike, everything I see Roman Wilson do, is there something we don't know? Because again, we're talking wide receiver 2s and we're talking trade deadlines. When this guy seems totally capable, Mike, can he be a big play receiver? I mean, the size is what he lacks. I think everybody would agree on that. But
I don't think he's going to be a true, like you'd say, like a number 2. But I think he'd be a viable piece to the puzzle in the team. So with Calvin Austin, but getting someone alongside DK who's a little bit more established in the league, and it has some more size than what those two have. Someone like a Rashid Shaheed who can run and has size. It just opens up the offense more and opens up opportunities for those two guys more. Roman Wilson, I liked him at Michigan. I thought it was a good pick when we got him. I just don't know if like the transition to the NFL was, his learning curve was a lot steeper than everyone else's learning curve. Some guys take a little bit longer to adapt to the league, and the injuries didn't help. Hopefully he's getting there. And it sounded like too, like in the preseason, like he was in his head a lot. Like Aaron Rodgers, made comments to like, once he stops thinking and starts doing, he'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
And I think, he's finally at this point now where he's getting comfortable with everything. It sucks that it's taken him this long, but, limited sample sizes, like you said, he hasn't shown you anything bad when given the opportunity. And like we said in this team, man, like the way the offense is going, they're finding matchups on the defense, and that those are the ones they're going to exploit. It took 6 games until Pat Fryermuth got involved in the offense. So I don't think it's a Roman Wilson thing. I think this is how they're attacking defenses. Like they're going to find a matchup and just exploit that. And then if anyone else can get a look, you're going to get 1 or 2 looks a game, and you better make the most of them.
Mark Malone agrees, Mike. He says on the board, Roman Roman seems to be a capable dude for sure. I've seen nothing yet. Nothing besides this, ability to get on the field and stay on the field that I don't like about the guy. Again, yes, he is undersized, but again, you drafted him. If you didn't like these things, don't draft him. I mean, come on. I do want to say welcome to Blue Collar Whammy coming over from the Twitch site, Mike. Also, John says, if I thought another wide receiver would make them Super Bowl competitive, I would agree. And you know what? Ben agrees with you as well. Big Ben Roethlisberger says this. He says, I don't think that it's necessary to trade for a wide receiver. It seems to me the problem is glaring. It's the defense. And whether, again, I don't know if it's personnel or schematics, but this is where the problem seems to me at the time. The offense has rarely struggled. I mean, their red zone offense has been great. The touchdowns by pass has been great. Again, I'm not craving that wide receiver like I have been. I think it's kind of bizarre that we don't have it to begin with. But again, the things they gotta figure out how to stop people with this defense. They're too good of a defense. The names are too good, and again, this is what you're paying the money for. So. I want a wide receiver just because I want more weapons, but ultimately I'm seeing that the defense has to get fixed. It has to. If the defense doesn't get fixed, Mike, this team is not going to do anything in January this year. So, and again, these next 7 games could be telling as well if this defense can't pick things up moving forward. Let's see. Mark Malone says this. He says, hell, 5'10", 185. Isn't that undersized for a wide receiver? 5'8". 165 is what Mark is
that's
saying.
tiny for Alvin. Yeah.
Remember last week Jamal was bringing up. He said, "Does anybody have a problem with the Amazon?" And I was like, "Amazon." You know what it was? Well, I figured out what that was last week because we have the games local here. and we didn't have to watch it through Amazon, Mike.
Yeah.
And, it hit me. I was looking at something the other day, and it was like, watch Thursday Night Football exclusively on Amazon. And I remember I was kind of looking at the board like I was, cockeyed. And I think that's what it was. I didn't even dawn on me because, again, it was just on our local TV. So I just wanted to throw out that I finally figured it out. It only took me about 4 days.
You are a bit slow.
Again, guys, Steelers Sunday Night Football. They do be hosting the Green Bay Packers Sunday night. Mike, we are 3.5-point home dogs. We're going to be down 3.5 points as the game starts, or we're going to be awarded 3.5 points as the game starts. In the gambling world, Mike, the NFL.com picks Green Bay 7-3. 10 people vote. 7 people say Green Bay. 3 people say Pittsburgh. 8:20 Sunday night on the North Shore, Mike. Week 8. Steelers and the Packers.
We had under Mike Tomlin a winning record against the spread as underdogs. That's another thing in our favor.
See, those kind of things mean nothing to me, but the things that do mean something to me is the extra time that we had off.
Yeah.
And there's other numbers that Tomlin has that are more impressive to me than point spread numbers. You know what I mean? I don't
like after a Thursday night loss, they rebound so much better.
Yes.
Than like the league. It's weird little stats, man.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I think
anything
in our favor.
If it gets better this week, I will love those numbers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I do think that we are caught up on this. We do have a few more things to get caught up. Mike, we're going to blow through picks today. Of course, Derpy has been eliminated. He's been eliminated.
Derpy right now.
So he will not be participating in picks in any capacity this week, Mike. So let's blow through the picks. We will get a few things done here, Mike. We still also have my draft that I think you're going to be somewhat impressed with. I've been putting some work into this. We'll get into that in just a moment, guys. Let me pull up the list. We'll blow through these games, Mike. Again, if you are on the CBS pick'ems that we do, get in there today. Make sure you at least get your first day's picking, because if you don't by at least 8:15 tonight, when the Minnesota Vikings and the LA Chargers start their game, you will lose out on that no matter which way it goes. So you want to make sure you get those picks in. Mike, let's get through these. Tonight, Vikings at the Chargers. Thursday night, who do you like in this football game?
I'm taking the Chargers. They're at home. The home team usually has the advantage here. I think it's going to be a close game, but I am taking the Chargers.
All right. And you know what's interesting about that, Somber? Remember I was going on about how we might lose to them. Indians were all like, no, you said that last week against Cleveland and blah, blah, blah. And these guys really peer pressured me into saying that I thought that the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to win last week. Mike, early on in the week, if you look back at tape, I was saying that I wasn't confident about that game, and Ian's peer pressured me. So, but I always do.
That's your fault, man. That's your fault for falling.
No, it is my fault, because as I say, I always will take the Steelers no matter what. But as far as just my overall opinion,
I know.
These guys, Somers, peer pressure is a motherfucker, because I was all on. I was right out the cut. I was like, we're gonna lose this game. I just have a bad feeling. And then he was like, dude, you're crazy. Everybody's saying that the Steelers are gonna win. Just like jumping off the bridge and all that kind of fun stuff. I followed along. But let's get back to these picks, Mike. The first 1:00 game on Sunday is the Miami Dolphins at the Atlanta Falcons. Who do you like in this one?
I'm taking the Falcons. Miami Dolphins are done. Sick of forking them. They might win one more game this year.
The Bears at the Ravens. This is an interesting one to me, Mike.
It is. The Ravens defense has gone awful. The Bears are starting to heat up a little bit, man. I'm going to take the Bears.
All right. Then the Jets at the Bengals. Mike, did the Jets get their first win against the Bengals?
No. No. There's no way that can happen, right? Right? So give me the Bengals just to keep my sanity.
I like the Jets in this one, to be honest.
They don't even know who their quarterback's going to be.
Listen, if the Bengals aren't playing us, I think they're going to stink.
I know, right?
I would not be surprised if they go out and shit the bed against the Jets this week after beating us last week.
Yeah, like the Bengals play down to when they play a shit team, they play like a shit team. And when they play a good team like the Steelers and the Packers, they find a way.
So I'm saying we're going to go with the 4-game winning streak for the Bears in this game for him on his Ravens-Bears pick. Bills Panthers, Mike.
I'm taking the upset. I'm taking Carolina Panthers.
Red hot Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
San Francisco at Houston.
San Francisco.
Cleveland at New England.
New England keeps their streak going. I think they're in a little run right now, and they keep it going. But I think the Browns keep it close with their defense.
Mike, this rematch, the Giants at the Eagles.
Eagles are going to win the rematch. They're not going to fall trap to this game.
Buccaneers at Saints.
Buccaneers are going to win this one. They want to wipe that Lions defeat off their mouth, but I think the Saints might put up a little bit of a fight.
Titans at Colts.
Colts all day, every day.
This one here I found
they should not lose this game. They should not lose this game.
This one I found a little bit tougher, Mike, when I was looking at the picks. Cowboys at Broncos.
Yeah, I this one I've been waffling back and forth on all week.
I want the Cowboys to win just because Denver is AFC competition.
Yeah.
But ultimately I don't want everyone doubt the Cowboys to win anything.
Yeah.
I'm
taking the Broncos.
All right. Mike, we'll do the jump to Monday night before we get back to our Sunday night game. The Commanders at the Chiefs.
I'm taking Kansas City. They're on a roll right now.
They're back to being the Chiefs. Not great, but finding ways to win every single time they step on the field.
Yeah, I think that offense is going to heat up now that they get Rashid Rice back. People are going to start falling into place in that offense. If they can ever get a running back, that offense is going to be scary again.
And finally, Mike, the Steelers hosting Green Bay. I need the pick and I need a score for a tiebreaker. For tiebreaker purposes, Mike, the Packers at the Steelers.
I'm taking Green Bay 28-21.
Green Bay 28-21. All right, got you locked in. Writing with my left hand, so it's taking a little longer. Nonetheless, you are locked in.
What's that right hand doing?
You don't want to know. It's been that kind of day. Naked, derpy conversations. All these times, you don't want to know what's going on with the right hand. So you are locked into place, Mike. I will not take this out until Tuesday when all the games are complete in the NFL. So the picks are in. Guys, the Pittsburgh Penguins travel to Florida, the Miami area tonight to play the Panthers. That's a 7 o'clock start as the Penguins off to a good start, Mike, going down to play the Stanley Cup winning champions. We like that. And also another thing we do like is the information about the website.
The2dumbyinzers.com. Check it out. What up, Jamal? At the2dumbyinzers.com. We got all of our merch over there. We got all of our social media links and Vanilla's Thunder Stump Thoughts all over at the2dumbyinzers.com.
Go check it out, everybody. A lot of cool stuff over there. www.the2dumbyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumbyinzers.com. All right, Mike. I made some leeway, and I'm glad Jamal got here just in time because I have my whole team now figured out for my all-white team to take on Rashard Mendenhall. But I'm only going to give you – listen, I have 15 positions to reveal. So I did 5, 5, and 5, or 5 and 5 the first couple of days. So this is what I'm going to do, Mike. I'm going to give you 8 today, and then I'm going to give you the final 7 tomorrow, guys. Okay. This is the best possible all-white football team from players from this century, and this is what I already had. I have had Jeff Saturday at center, Tom Brady at quarterback, Mike Allstott at fullback, McCaffrey at tailback. My receivers are Julian Edelman and Cooper Kupp. On defense, what I've given you already is Jason Sehorn and Cooper DeJean, my corners. And I gave you my kicker as far as special teams, Adam Vinatieri. If you could just keep your eyes open for another 10 minutes.
I'm not saying
it is, but God,
I've been
watching you fall asleep for about 3 days. And
I know. I
apologize. Are you going to sleep? When are you going to get some sleep?
I don't know.
All right, here we go. And I'm worried about your health.
No, you're not.
Well, it sounded good, didn't it?
You want me to die on air?
It sounded damn good, didn't it?
It sounded good.
All right, so here we go, guys. I'm going to give you 8. Let me give you 8 picks today. Tomorrow, I'll give you 7, and that will round us out. And what happened was I was supposed to give you 5 all 5 days. That would have given you my 25 picks. I didn't start until Tuesday, so we had to do this. So I just gave you my starters from Tuesday, Wednesday, guys, for the all-white team. Here we go. Let me start on the defensive side of the ball. I'm gonna round out my secondary. Guys, of course, Cooper DeJean and Jason Sehorn being my corners. My safeties are Harrison Smith and John Lynch. John Lynch, the great Hall of Fame. John Lynch, the hammer back there, if you will, for Tampa Bay's great defense. So my secondary is Jason Sehorn, Cooper DeJean, Harrison Smith from Minnesota, and John Lynch. I'm going to go with, let's give you my outside linebackers. All right.
Let's hear it.
Here we go. TJ Watt.
Good pick.
And Clay Matthews from the Green Bay team that beat us in the Super Bowl 45. So Clay Matthews and TJ Watt are my outside linebackers. So that's 4. And I got to give you 3 more players, and then I'll give you an update of what it looks like overall. 3 more. Let me give you my guards on offense, and then I'll give you one of my defensive linemen. Alan Faneca. I'm putting it right guard. Alan Faneca.
Solid choice.
Hall of Famer. Pittsburgh Steeler. Great Hall of Famer. Alan Faneca is my right guard. Bruce Matthews, the great, who wrapped up his career in 2001, just made the cut. So my 3 middle offensive linemen, Jeff Saturday at center, Alan Faneca at right guard, and Bruce Matthews at left guard. And let me give you one of my defensive linemen, Mike. I'm going to give you my defensive end, J.J. Watt.
Not a bad pick.
J.J. Watt. So this is what we have right now, guys. And again, tomorrow I wrap up my all-white team, guys. This is what it looks like as of right now. Defensively, J.J. Watt on at end, T.J. Watt at outside linebacker, Clay Matthews at outside linebacker, John Lynch and Harrison Smith at the safeties, Jason Sehorn and Cooper DeJean at the corners. I have inside linebackers and 2 more defensive linemen to get through tomorrow. On offense, Mike, I also added Bruce Matthews at guard and Alan Faneca at guard. So the offense looks like this: Jeff Saturday, Bruce Matthews, Alan Faneca, Brady, Allstott, McCaffrey, Cup, Nettleman. And then tomorrow also I have a punter, and I also have my head coach, Mike, that I am going to roll out tomorrow. So when Rashard Mendenhall wants to do this, man, we will go at it. We'll get all these guys together. I'm sure they'll be more than willing.
That's half of them come out there with canes.
Yeah. I tell you what, my list really reeks of bad dancing and unseasoned meat. I got to be honest with you. It does too. But nonetheless, guys, I've been wanting to do this for a couple of years, ever since Rashard Mendenhall started his shit. And here we are. So there you go, guys. Tomorrow, 6, the last 6 positions, Mike. I have offensive line, I have defensive line, I have head coach, and a punter to reveal tomorrow. And that will be the entire all-white team. Let's do catch up on some of these messages before we get ready to go. We're rounding third here, Mike. And I'm going to go right about there. John says Chargers O-line has a lot of injuries. I would pick the Vikings. They got some. They're going through some shit out there in Los Angeles, man.
They are.
Injuries are killing them.
I know. I just have faith in the home team statistic right here.
Our quarterback could put up 400 yards, I think, easily. So
yeah.
Scott Atkins says, I hope the Bears beat the Baltimoreans and Aaron smokes the Bears when we play them. Another tiebreaker is record against common opponents.
Yep. I like that.
Gang. What's up, my man? What's up, Jamal? Always seeing you. Great seeing you on the board, man. Always great. Love having Jamal up on the board with us here. Somber says PS2 and Jade Barron on Pickens and CD should be fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget the underrated white corner.
Yeah, Riley Moss. Riley Moss just missed the cut. He just missed a cut on my team. Jamal says, sorry, I woke up. Oh, no, it's all good, bro. Hope all is well with you. Tortilla Mike Caboli. That's Mike. That's what you look like with all the yawning and the.
That's fucked up. I in my defense, I got to get up at 2 a.m. to go to work. All right, come on, guys. Cut me some slack here. I work hard on
There's probably guys that work, on the board works like 12 hours a day.
I know, right? They all probably work harder than I do.
know.
I go around there. I walk around, talk to people, make sure they're doing the job.
Jamal says, better get that checked out, Mike. You better get that checked out. And I agree. I couldn't agree more. Martin Malone says, got to add Jordy Nelson. You know what? If I would have added a third receiver, Jordy Nelson would have certainly been considered. But I'm only just for the sake of the way I'm doing it with the 25 guys. He just missed the cut. He was in the top 5. I had Jordy Nelson in mind as I did this. Jamal. We got Mike get those checkups. You know what? And you know what? I'm guilty of this as well. I need to be getting checkups. I need to be going to the doctors and having them look at me and analyze me and take blood tests or something.
Right?
I'm just
right.
I'm,
we are at that age.
I've never thought I'd make it.
I'm seeing guys die that are my age. I'm seeing guys die that are younger than me with heart attacks and things like this. I really should be.
I've seen people healthier than me just drop dead. Like, wow.
Mark Malone says maybe that Eagle wide receiver that used the N-word too. Scott says you have to wear a cheese head on your head after the Steelers smack the Packers booties for picking the Packers. Mike, we're gonna have to do something with you because you always do. You always take the opposite team. So maybe that's what's wrong with you. Maybe
that's one of the many issues that's wrong with.
Maybe that's karma.
Could be. It could be. I don't know, man. I just don't have a good feeling going into this game. I hope I'm wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm picking for wins here.
Jamal, that's terrible, man.
Yeah.
Jamal says his father is diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, colon cancer last month. Wasn't getting checked. That's what I'm saying, dude. You just don't know. You don't know. And I'm sorry to hear about that. I hope you know what? I know that there's a lot of amazing things out there. And I do know that there's certain medications that could redirect hormones and keep people alive for quite some time and do some pretty amazing things. So let's keep our thoughts with your father and hope things get better. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend.
Yeah, it sucks.
Well, we don't want him. No. Tortilla's saying Cam Hayward counts as white. No.
It's like the Chappelle skit.
Yeah,
the racial draft.
I know.
Everyone's trying to trade away Cam Hayward at this point.
I don't want him.
If he has a good game, we'll take him. We'll take him.
RB, that's an interesting name. Tune in tomorrow. He's saying if Tony Saragusa isn't the nose tackle, and to be fair, go try to find any other white nose tackle in the 2000s that is anywhere as close as Tony Saragusa. I'm just going to say that. I'm not going to give you the answer yet, but I'm just saying tune in and good luck finding anybody else to play that position.
Like that was my thought too, RB. Like when he told me he was building a 3-4, in my mind I was like, if he doesn't have Goose, I might have to beat him with a rubber hose or some shit.
Again, good luck finding another nose tackle that you would put in this position. I've been racking my brain. Matter of fact, I had 24 of my 25 picks done, and I went to Mike and I was like, Mike, I just cannot figure out a nose tackle, and I don't know if this is telling or anything, but I'm just saying. Tune in tomorrow, find out for sure.
It's the worst teaser ever.
Mark Malone says, Watt power. Yes, we do have 2 Watts on this team, and we do have 2 Matthews. A lot of family in this on this particular team. Of course, Bruce, the uncle of Clay Matthews, his dad was Clay Matthews, who's Bruce's brother. Clay Matthews played for the Browns. He was a linebacker, tough as nails. I can remember him. Mark Malone says, at Steelers gang, dang, sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, dude. It's you hear stage 4 and it always just sounds so bleak, but fight the good fight, man. Tortilla, it's okay, Mike. Just tell us we're 12 days away from a wide receiver trade.
Within 10 to 12 days, we will have a new wide receiver. Someone of significance.
And then he just passes out. Yes. That's one of the best Kabuli impersonations I've ever seen, I'm going to be honest with you. Tortilla says, oddly enough, we probably are 12 days out from a trade. Just took 90 to get there.
And he will say, I called this all along.
Yes. That's why I hate
couldn't make it work.
That's why I hate him. Jamal says, God is good, bro. Absolutely, man. Life is in his hands. And yes, I agree. Of course, man. Let's see. Mark Malone says hormones can work wonders. I've never actually seen it written that way. That's really funny, actually. Not to make a light of anything that's being talked about. I've never actually seen that. Send in the horrors. Scott says Steelers need some. He got jacked up hits on the Packer pansies when the cross over the middle. Cleveland receivers felt this against the Steelers defense. We need it again. They sure did, man. And finally, Kelly Gregg was Kelly Gregg was good. His name came up. But again, guys, tomorrow I will reveal the last 6 people on the team, and we are going to go after Rashard Mendenhall. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm making this team, and I'm thinking, wow, I could sure use some black guys on my team. I'm going to be honest with you. And here's the thing. You know me, Mike. That's generally how I am. I want black guys on my team. I just think, they're faster, they're more athletic. I do that. This has been consistent on the show for years now. I've said this. So this is difficult for me trying to put together a team of all white guys.
I know. You're twitching.
I am twitching. I'm not the most
you're looking for like any little melanin you can find to add to your roster.
I'm not,
or melatonin, as you
I gotta be honest, Mike. I'm not as confident with this team as I could be. But again, we will reveal the final 6 players tomorrow and the head coach tomorrow as we wrap up the week, Mike, getting ready to head into this week 8 weekend. The Packers coming to play Pittsburgh on Sunday night at 8:20, guys. The Sunday night football game. I think there's a lot at stake in this football game, and it's a big one, man. No fly zone at Scott Atkins. I can't wait, bro. I hope they have to, especially with a team that could throw the ball around like Jordan Love in Green Bay. I'd like to see them get back to sticking some folks back there.
Yeah, they got to lay the lumber the way they did against the Browns.
Let's get into the trivia, guys. This is how well do you know your enemy? How well do you know your opponent? Of course, the questions this week are about the Green Bay Packers. Tomorrow will be the last one. So if you're not liking the Packers questions, it will be over soon. Mike, everybody on the board, everybody at home, here is the question of the day. Here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, smart ass. You better get this right. You better get this right. That's all
I better too. Probably not.
Which Green Bay Packers head coach has the best winning percentage since the merger? Which Green Bay Packers head coach has the best winning percentage since the merger? I mean, people would probably go with the obvious had I not finished the way I did. Think about that, guys. Think it over. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. every day right here on the Tube. So question of the day, which Green Bay Packers head coach has the best winning percentage since the merger? So we're talking 1967 to 2025. Mike, any thoughts, any ideas, thought process on who this might be?
The dummy back there is telling me Carly Lambeau.
Carly Lambeau,
that's the dummy's guess. I'm going with...
and what's that thing behind you saying? The dummy says Carly Lambeau. What's that thing behind you sitting there with the penguin shirt saying?
Funny. All
right.
I'm going to go with, just because there is LaFleur or you got Holmgren and you got Mike McCarthy.
They had some nice coaches over the years.
They did. I don't like Holmgren, so I'm just going to say Mike McCarthy.
And he's a Pittsburgh guy. What bag
I'm
say
going to go
about
with
him?
Pittsburgh's own Mike McCarthy.
Mike, are you going to stick with this? And is this going to be your final answer?
Yeah, final answer for both of us.
The dummies are confirming.
The dummies have confirmed.
All right. So there you go, guys. You were saying Mike McCarthy. Mike bought a silent keyboard. I know. I don't know what he's up to down there. All right, guys. So here it is.
It's all knowledge.
Question of the day. Which Green Bay Packers head coach has the best winning percentage since the merger? A lot of good answers, Mike. I'm seeing Mike Holmgren. I'm seeing Mike McCarthy. Of course, you'd mentioned a couple other names. And you stuck with McCarthy, Mike, of course, with a 67-33 record, which is a 67.5 winning percentage. This coach is the winningest coach since the merger for the Green Bay Packers, Mike. It is, in fact, Matt LaFleur. Right? I didn't see that coming.
Small sample size.
I thought this was going to be
but no, yeah.
I thought this was going to be a Holmgren or McCarthy, and when I looked at
me too, yeah.
67.5%, 67-33 record. It's 100 games exactly.
That's not bad, yeah. That qualifies.
So there you go. We get to see him. We get a first glance look at this particular coach. So hopefully we could bring that number down a little bit as we do. Mike, anything before we start wrapping up for the day?
I got nothing. I literally got nothing.
I do want to say these few things
I just want to thank everyone.
Absolutely. I do want to say, you know what I want to do is this. I want to go over a couple of these messages real quick because I don't want to leave anybody out. And I do think that I missed a couple. Scott says, look for Elliott to get a pick and a fumble recovery. Elliott, my man, he's such a hammer. I love him. If anybody's going to cause turnovers this weekend, hopefully it could be him. Also, RB says any all-white team must include the all-time biggest meathead, Chad AJ Hawk. AJ Hawk. You know what? I had a little bit of controversy at my linebacker position, but again, we'll get into that tomorrow. It came down to a couple different people, and it wasn't easy. I'll just put it to you that way, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about tomorrow. Also, let's see, make sure everybody's picks. We got everybody there. Okay, so there we go, guys. I'm going to get into this. If you haven't had a chance, guys, swing by and stop at any of our social media sites. We are on Facebook. We're on X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Trends, and even TikTok. Swing by, just hit the follow button, and you keep up with what the two dumb Yinzers are doing on a day-to-day basis. Also, if you haven't had a chance, just right here below, hit the like, sub, share, and even leave a comment if you would like. It would help us out if you do. We appreciate that. And finally, Mike, if you're getting ready for the big game, be sure to go out and get yourself a case of Duquesne Pilsner. This beer, guys, I got to be honest, we have it at the studio. We've had it at the studio every single week for the games this year. I wouldn't go out and get a different case of beer. They and the Duquesne Pilsner, these guys, they do support us, and they do certainly keep us. They represent us in their promotion as well on their website and on the Facebook as well. So I try to do it back for them. Even if it's the smallest thing you can do is just swing by Duquesne Pilsner on any social media, just hit the like button, show them some love. But if you are looking to go out and try something new, maybe, or something that you already love, go out and get yourself a case of Duquesne Pilsner for the big game on Sunday night. Mike, it is made right here in Pittsburgh. And as it says in the can, it says grab a Duke. So go out and do that. Get yourself a Duke. Also, let me grab Tortilla. He says, watch Terry Rozier's worst plays, and you'll get a laugh at how bad he was at hiding his gambling. It's funny.
I saw some cut-ups already.
Did you?
And people are like, how can he defend himself in court? And all I got to do is show footage.
Most importantly, I do want to say thank you to everybody. I want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys always keep things interesting. I want to say thank you everybody at home. Anybody that has their AirPods in, maybe you're at work, maybe you're at the gym, maybe you're in the car. I do want to say thank you for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you. You guys are the best. I just don't say it here. I don't say it on the show. I say this to everybody because I truly believe it. Again, guys, if you don't have them in, get your picks in for tonight over on the CBS Pick'em. You can hit the link right outside here. If you just go right out from where you're watching now on our page, it should be in blue letters. Just click on that. It takes 30 seconds to sign up. It costs nothing. Get your picks in, guys. It's pretty competitive this year. We're all trying to catch RB. RB is he's been tough every week, Mike. Very consistent, I will say, about RB on the board. So good luck to everybody tonight as the picks do get started heading into week 8 as week 8 kicks off tonight on Thursday Night Football as the Minnesota Vikings travel to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers tonight at 8:15. So do get them picks in. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to do it all over again. Get ready to head into week 8, Mike, the full weekend. We will break down overs and unders. We will break down strategy and what it's going to take for the Pittsburgh Steelers to get the win Sunday night over the Packers right here tomorrow. So we hope to see everybody back then. I'm just gonna ask you one more time, Mike. Anything else before we roll, bro?
No late breaking news. No nothing other than let's go, baby. This was fun today.
Absolutely, and also I'm
finally awake. Let's do two.
Look at him. Look at him. He's wide awake now. He yawned.
Of course, I stretched and I was ready to yawn. So,
and again, we will wrap up our Team White tomorrow as well. A lot of things, Mike, and something a little special for the throwback game as well that we've been planning on for the week. So, guys, we hope to see everybody back tomorrow. And you know what, Tyrone? It's all right, brother. We'll catch you on the flip side, man. I hope everything's going well for you and on your way. And we hope to see you tomorrow. It's never a problem. Shit happens. Hey, throw it on later and check it out if you get a chance. Other than that, everybody, thank you so much. We loved talking to everybody today. We loved getting all this out, Mike, as we were trying to, again, get ready for the Green Bay Packers and get off this little blip in the road that we had against Cincinnati. Get the win this week, get back on track. Again, the first place teams in the AFC North and in the NFC North going at it Sunday night. It's going to be a big game, guys. As I always say, Mike, every game that you're playing is the biggest game of the season. Mike, one last time, speak now, forever hold your peace. All right, everybody, we'll be back tomorrow at our regular time. We hope to see everybody then. For Mike in the Steelers Central Mobile Studio, for myself, the Two Dumb Yinzers, have a great Thursday, and we'll see you tomorrow.